So I promised you a third story, and the third story is probably one of the most precious to me. I'm going to call it the Mysterium. The Mysterium is the name that I use for the spiritual gatherings of the Universal Mind, which is my 501c3 charitable religious organization. I prefer to think of it as a spiritual organization, not religious. Anyway, but the name Mysterium had come to me through a friend who had a dream and heard the word, and then she told me the word, and then this that I'm going to share with you occurred during one of those 20-minute meditations listening to the Om in a spiritual development class that I was taking from another medium. We were working on our channeling and physical mediumship. This was the vision that I had when that came. And this one could serve as a meditation for you. So if you're in a safe place where you can relax and enjoy the ride, please do. So I left my body and I went down into the earth. And I found myself descending into the earth through this rectangular shaft that I liken to a mine shaft. And the rock around me was black and wet. As I moved, there was a light that at the time of the meditation I didn't realize was me. But that light that is within all of us, that light began to light the way that I went down through this shaft into the earth. And as I got deeper into the shaft, I hit a gaseous chamber. And this gaseous chamber burned away the ego and the intellect, and I became a wraith, an element of fire. Then, as I descended further through another tunnel, going further and deeper, I entered this amazing chamber. It was quite large, and it had archways that came to a peak. And I was in the center of this vast area. It was very dark, except where I would turn, I would see things lit. In the center of it, there were hallways that ran off of it like the spokes of a wheel. And each of the hallways had a different purpose and a different destination, but my attention was drawn to one particular hallway. And it was the hallway of time. And as I looked down that hallway beneath one of the beautiful arches there, the stone arches, I noticed the walls of that hallway were comprised of the skulls of every living human that had ever been since the dawn of time. I could feel as I moved from the top of the wall being more present time down deeper to the bottom where the skulls were almost crushed together in the sense that they were compressed from the weight of time and the other layers of living on top of it back to the beginning of time on Earth. After observing that, I turned around and I went back into the main area where all these hallways converged, and there was, for lack of a better word, a bath. It was a rectangular stone pool of water. Everything was dark, but not dark as in a scary way, but as in the void, as in nothingness rather than somethingness. I was really drawn to the waters in that bath, and I sat down on the edge of the bath and I moved my fingers through the water to ripple the waters, and discovered with great astonishment that I didn't have a body, that I was actually moving the waters with my mind. But as the waters moved, these orbs that were in the waters, in that void, lit up as they jostled each other with the movement. And I was fascinated because I saw that they were the souls of people. They were in this bath, and I was told that the name of that bath is called the Mysterium. Well, curious being that I am, I decided that I wanted to go into the bath, and I found myself moving through the waters and feeling the souls of others jostling me. And I came out at the underside of that bath, and looking upward, I was tethered by a cord to the bottom of that Mysterium bath. And I saw it above me, and as I descended, two of the other people that were in that room together were also descended. We descended at a slower and slower rate until time stopped. The instant that time stopped, the scale of what I was experiencing expanded into such a vast space it would be hard to describe it. but it was as if I was on the inside of a sphere. And along the walls of this sphere were doorways, locked doors that went to other realms, or doors that were able to be opened to other realms. And I went to one, opened it up, and I found myself coming into it from the bottom of an ocean. And as I moved up through the warm waters of that ocean, I popped up above the waves and the quiet waters that were there into the daylight that was there. It was very beautiful. I saw land and I saw animals moving from the water, like eels with legs and different animals moving up onto the land mass there, and sort of primordial trees growing along the shoreline. In another one, when I entered another world, another meditation, I opened a door and found myself in an alpine meadow. The flowers were so colorful and the altitude was so high. And it was just a joyous experience to be in the crisp, cool sunlight on top of this beautiful alpine mountain in this wonderful meadow with all the beautiful, delicate flowers and the butterflies and insects that were there. Just spectacular. There were other realms, and as I would leave a realm, I would go back into that huge, massive space, and I would reconnect with time, and I would go along the trajectory of the cord through the bottom of the Mysterium bath, up into the chambers, back up through the tunnel, passing the gaseous chamber and coming back up to the surface. It was a tremendous experience. And I really bless each of you that has tuned in to listen today. I want you to know that you can have experiences yourself if you will just give yourself a chance. And how amazing was that to experience that within 20 minutes of time? It's really extraordinary when we hit that timeless space. So challenge yourself, give yourself an adventure, take yourself out of this world, go find a place that's yours, a place that you like to go. Experience something different. It will make your life much more valuable.